Thursday night trustee cocktail party. It's certainly, I think, a venue that we have come to know if we don't love it. So it feels familiar. But I'm really pleased that you're all here to join in this celebration tonight before the work of the board starts tomorrow. So, Dennis, I'll turn it back to you.
So, it does seem strange. Typically, the trustees get together on Thursday night here in the President's House on campus, and it's usually a pretty lively and raucous time. We always include on Friday, right before commencement, we always have a dinner in one of the great venues on campus, and at that we recognize the trustees who are rolling off the board, and also the honorary degree recipients. So it's a very different venue to do this, but it's amazing actually that we're able to get our 4 honorary degree recipients here with us this evening. We have all of the trustees who are rolling off the board, I think, are here with us as well. And also one other person that we're going to honor with a few remarks this evening. So,
I will just add that I've heard from a number of trustees that they're really disappointed that they can't sit at the kids' table tonight. So one of the traditions of Thursday night dinner is that there's always one particularly raucous table that we've labeled the kids table. So there are a few folks on this Zoom session that are missing that.
So it's my great task to be able to say a few words about our honorary degree recipients tonight. And first of all, let's say this. I should also say this is not. So 2 things to our honorary degree recipients. This is a poor substitute for having you up on stage in front of thousands of visitors to campus. So this doesn't replicate it at all. So don't think that this is anything like the experience that we wanted to provide you. But then secondly, we really do want every one of the honorary degree recipients to come to campus in the next 12 months, hopefully, at your convenience, to actually receive your honorary degree in person in one way or another. Some of you we have 2 alumni who are being honored tonight, so obviously you've been here on campus. There are 2 others who are not alumni, so don't come. Mr. Gaither, I don't think have you ever been to campus, Mr. Gaither?
I'm gonna go.
Okay, so it's going to happen this year, okay? You're going to be back down here on campus. I just wanted to say a few words about the honorary degree recipients, and then we don't have time for you to give your normal 30-minute acceptance speech that you would have given in front of all those people. So, but we do have time, hopefully, for you to say a few words and to let us know a little bit more about you, perhaps. So I'm going to do. Oh, the other thing I would say is that on Saturday in our virtual commencement, which is really designed to be for our students themselves, you are going to be acknowledged briefly as well, and there are likely to be thousands of attendees at that. We're hearing a lot from families, and obviously it's available to people all over the world, so you will be acknowledged at that. And then I'll also say that, believe it or not, I actually do have your honorary degree. It's talk about good timing. I happened to walk over from the President's House to campus today to pick up the mail, and in the mail were the final copies of those beautiful honorary degrees. So I do have all 4 of them right here in my hands to prove to each one of you that we really did go to great lengths and get the official honorary degree for you prepared. So let me just say a few words about Edmund Barry Gaither. And Barry will be receiving an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree. The challenge I have in trying to summarize the many accomplishments of all 4 of our honorary degree recipients is picking and choosing just a few things to mention. He is the executive director and curator of the Museum of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, which in truth he developed from concept to an institution with a collection of more than 3,000 objects. He's a special consultant at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. He's headed the national committee that commissioned the bust of Martin Luther King Jr. for the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. He's a frequent lecturer, published many articles and essays. In 2019, the Arts and Business Council of Greater Boston presented him with the 2019 Champion of the Arts degree. And for those accomplishments and for many, many more, we are really pleased to honor you with this Doctor of Fine Arts degree that you will officially receive on Saturday, and we will hand to you at some time in the future. So thank you for being here with us, and I'll unmute you if you'd like to say a few words.
I would. Thank you very much for this singular honor. I've worked for half a century at the proposition that work is a mission more than a career, and that the arts are the true bridge to understanding, and that every culture has to develop from within it voices that articulate its meaning and passion. And I have tried to make my work over this long period of time, creating a platform that would not just celebrate, but would also enunciate the contributions of Black peoples to world civilization, and in particular, those contributions in the visual arts. It is, like all of our work, undone, and we are, like all true workers, committed to trying to see it even past our own contribution. I appreciate your recognition of the amount of work I put in this, but when I look at it, it alternates between being a bride and an albatross. Some days I look at my work and I think for what it has demanded, it ought to be much further along. Other days I look at it and consider that it's been done without endowment and always in jeopardy. And in truth, it's surprising that it still stands. So with that wrestling contradiction, again, I thank you.
And if I could somehow virtually get you this would be the honorary degree that we would
I will come and get it.
Yes. I will hold on to it for you right here in my office, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Our second honorary degree recipient is a member of the Wheaton College class of 1995. So he would be celebrating his 25th reunion. Unfortunately, it won't be here on campus. And so I'd like to call out Khrystian Chris King, and he will be receiving an honorary degree, Doctor of Laws degree. When I read the inspiring work that he's done, I am really moved by it. He's a social worker in the Worcester office of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, where in addition to his full-time duties, he has voluntarily served as the LGBTQ liaison. He's a council at large in the city of Worcester, currently serving his second term. And I think the best way to describe it is his work is that Chris has been a lifelong advocate for Worcester's children, youth, and families, beginning his career as a student leader of an anti-drug program at Holy Name Junior Senior High School. He's dedicated his whole career to helping local families rise beyond poverty and violence, from his child work in child protection to his nearly 20 years leading the Crompton Park summer basketball program. So, Chris King, I saw you on there somewhere. There you are.
Hello.
Go ahead and unmute yourself. And, it's good to see you here at Wheaton, even virtually.
Yes, thank you, President Hono, Board of Trustees. This is definitely an honor. I wanted to also say hello to some familiar faces I see. I see Josh over there and Talanian, and of course Dr. Tony Kwame Lang. which I was surprised to see on this Zoom call. That's my baby. I'm sorry, guys, but that's what it is.
Excited for you.
Yeah.
Excited for
So, I again, I know a lot of effort has been put in this by folks, time, deliberation. I know my daughter, Jalen King, Heidi Mill, and my former teammate, Marlon Williams, was helpful in this whole process. And, the values that were instilled in me as a first generation American whose parents came from the island of Bermuda to make a difference in our community was really supported, enhanced when I stepped on the campus at Wheaton College. The main thing is, I came as a student athlete. I was a member of the men's intercollegiate basketball team. And the idea of giving back was also supported by Coach Roy Dow, who was a young coach at the time, and made sure my teammates and I did that by requiring us to do community service at the local children's hospital in Providence every winter break. Again, the simplest of notions and ideals to give back to the game of basketball and to give back to others. When I came out to Wheaton, there was a campus and faculty that was certainly committed to principles of social and civic justice. I had mentors such as Dr. Kirsty Elo in the sociology department, Dr. Derek Price in psychology, and I had a visiting professor of color, Dr. William Thompson, who all served me greatly. And when you think about the field of social work, LGBTQ advocacy, community work, that again was something that fit well with even my major. I majored in sociology and psychology. Social psychology major that really pushed me forward in this field. And to receive career recognition is certainly humbling as far as making a difference goes. And it's coming from a young man who my senior year in high school, I got kicked out at a local Catholic school, and it was quite challenging, and there was lots of labels. And when I came to campus, I was, it was shortly after coeducation, and there were some certainly interesting times there, but there was also some labels as a young black male and a young student athlete. And, seeing Dr. Lang on the call certainly brings back some of those memories. I know that he made a concerted effort at that time to distance himself a little bit from the athletics and focus on the academics. And there he is, someone who I look up to with his doctorate degree. And, also kind of giving back around the violence and things. By the time I was a sophomore at Wheaton, I'd been a pallbearer in 2 of 3 young folks who passed away's funerals, which certainly propelled me. And Wheaton College brought on Dr. Deborah Prothgrove Stith, who wrote a book called Deadly Consequences. And it fueled me. And it allowed me to use basketball, to use a great education, liberal arts, teaching me about sociology and psychology and intersectionality, to make a difference and, dispel labels. That's something I try to do every day to help people have access and opportunity no matter what your walk of life or where you're from. So this is truly an honor, and I hope that my parents are smiling down on me, and my children, Jalen and Alexandra and Leani, will remember how important it is to work to give back. So thank you all.
Well, thank you, Chris, and this will be yours when I can get it to you. And just like you refer to Tony Lang as Dr. Lang, he'll now have to refer to you as Dr. King.
Thank you. And one other thing, Kelsey, Andrade, thank you for your patience and persistence. Was definitely appreciated. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Cheers. To our honorary degree recipient. Our third honorary degree recipient, and Abby, I'll unmute you there, so when it's your term, so we can hear you now. So just to say a few words about Abby Spencer Moffett. Abby will be receiving an honorary degree of Doctor of Laws. Abby is the Chief Executive Officer of the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation.
I'll be done soon.
And she joined the Foundation's Board of Directors predecessor organization in 1992 and later served as Vice Chair. In 2012, when the Foundation transitioned to the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation, she took a leading role in setting up that organization, and since then has scaled it into truly a globally recognized leader in the nonprofit community with a focus on national security, education, entrepreneurship, and public policy. Under her leadership, the foundation has been a catalyst for several major initiatives at Wheaton, and certainly all our current trustees know them well with the focus on global issues, innovation, and social entrepreneurship. She's very active in the nonprofit world, serving as a trustee of the Heritage Foundation and also as chair of the board of trustees of the Daniel Morgan Graduate School of National Security. I think we may have a first here as well. Not the true historian, but Abby will be the third generation of her family to receive an honorary degree.
Wow.
Her grandmother was an honorary degree recipient from Wheaton College. Her mother, Diana Davis Spencer, an honorary degree recipient of Wheaton College. And Abby has earned this in the same way as those two through her contributions to society and to Wheaton College. And I'm pleased to award you this honorary degree, Doctor of Laws, Abby Spencer Moffett.
Thank you so much. It is a true honor to be with all of you this evening. Wheaton College is standing on firm ground with Mary Lyon, the founder, who was very forward-thinking. She thought about intellectual diversity as well as diversity of thought, as well as diversity of people. She loved all people, and she was eager to make a difference. And I see Wheaton today doing the same thing, a diversity of thought, diversity of people, diversity of opportunities. The students that come out are so well prepared. I've met many students over the years, and I can tell you they're some of the best prepared students I've seen. They know how to write, they know how to communicate, they're effective leaders in whatever area they intend to pursue, and I've been extremely impressed. The students, we've even had some come to Daniel Morgan, and it's very, very exciting to see the transformation under President Hano, the transformation that he's brought to Wheaton. It's just incredible. He's a true entrepreneur, and our foundation is also very entrepreneurial. I think growing up as a child, I wasn't allowed to buy things without working for them. So that's where I developed my personal entrepreneurship experience starting age 12. And I think that transforms your life. And this is what Wheaton's giving, a solid education and looking at everything entrepreneurially. And I appreciate Wheaton's an extraordinary institution, and I believe it will be around for hundreds of years to come. So thank you to the Board of Trustees. I appreciate this honor. It's a privilege. I'm in shock. I don't feel worthy of it, but I so appreciate it. And thank you all for everything that you're doing to help the next generation. We're very appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. It doesn't look like you can probably see it since you're on the phone, but I'm holding up to the camera there what your honorary degree looks like, and I certainly will hold it for you. And we expect you to come to campus to pick it up. I know I see you in Washington, but you.
Yes, I'll be coming to campus.
That's fantastic. So congratulations, and we raise a glass to you as we toast your honorary degree. So.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to put you back on mute. I should have remembered this. I'm actually going to just hop up for 1 second and flip behind the dimple here for a second.
Is he really there?
Because, I don't even need to think about, our next honorary degree recipient. I mean, I've got one of many of her books right behind me here. Just happened to think it was right on the shelf there. And I think there's another one on the shelf too. But it's, my pleasure to say a few words about our next honorary degree recipient, who would have been our maiden commencement speaker this year, and who is recognizing her 50th year reunion, Wheaton class of 1970, and that is Sally Bedell Smith, who will be receiving a Doctor of Humane Letters degree. Probably for many of us doesn't need much introduction, because there was good conversation going on even at the beginning of this Zoom session. American historian, best-selling author of one of the world's foremost interpreters of the British royal family, specializes in biographies of members of the British royal family as well as American political, culture, and business leaders. She's the best-selling author of 7 biographies beginning in 1990 with In All His Glory, the book I held up here about William Paley, the legendary chairman of CBS. Her latest book, Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, published in 2017, was an immediate New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post bestseller. Received all kinds of awards, too many to mention in the brief time we have here today. But I will say that in 2012, she won the prestigious Washington Irving Medal for Literary Excellence. And I know she was off, but I believe back on. Sally, do I see you on here? Sally, can you unmute yourself?
I don't.
She was here.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. We hear you. Okay, there you are, right there. Now, sorry, got another screen. So, congratulations, and
Well,
the floor is yours.
well, I'm just deeply honored, not only by the honorary degree, but the timing of it to coincide with my 50th celebration, which we'll figure out a way of celebrating at some point. But I've, because I had to think about a commencement speech, I was thinking so much about my experience at Wheaton and how it really deeply grounded me in ways that I didn't realize at the time. In all the history courses that I took as a modern European history major, and that Paul Helmreich was my sort of guiding star. And he also happened to speak at our commencement because in very different ways 50 years ago, it was a turbulent time. We were in the middle of a student strike. None of us took final exams, but we did manage to have a commencement in the Dimple, and we had Paul Helmreich as our speaker. But I really sort of learned the nuts and bolts of researching and turning research into what I try to make a compelling story. And one of the things I was going to try and talk about in my speech was the importance of making your luck. And that was a little bit of luck that I didn't, choosing that degree, it was an interest. But I had, at various points after that, I didn't really have a career in mind, but I happened to work for a woman, which was very unusual in 1970. And she encouraged me to write. I went to journalism school, and I started as a journalist. And my literary agent, Amanda Urban, turned out to be somebody I had been friends with at Wheaton. And she has been my astute advisor ever since. And so, one of the things I was going to try and talk about was making your luck. There are many things that go into a successful career. Obviously hard work, focus, knowing what you want to do. But I think making your luck is very important as well. And I owe a great debt to Wheaton for the really enriched liberal arts education that I received there. And I'll be forever grateful for that. I wanted to go to Wheaton since I was a little girl. Another piece of luck. The mother of one of my friends had gone to Wheaton, and I had heard her talk about it many times. So I just am filled with gratitude and feeling exceedingly honored to have been recognized in this wonderful, albeit virtual way.
Well, Sally, you will have a chance to deliver that commencement address here on campus. We'll have you here to meet with some of our students. I will hold on to this for you. So there is really an honorary degree with your name on it. And, congratulations on a lifetime of achievement and for making Wheaton proud in so many different ways. We're gonna do a little risky experiment here. I'm gonna unmute all.
Uh-oh.
And I think a round of applause for these 4 amazing honorary degree recipients. They're all unmuted.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to mute you all again. So. All right. And with that, I will turn it over to Janet, who will lead us through the next part of our virtual ceremony here.
Right, great. Thanks very much, Dennis. And on behalf of the trustees, congratulations to the honorary degree recipients, and we're really pleased that you could be with us tonight for this event. It makes it all the more special for us to have a chance to hear from you and also to celebrate with you on your degrees. So I'd like to turn this now for a minute and welcome and recognize Diana Davis Spencer, who is the class of 1960, and this will be her 60th reunion from Wheaton College. And in February, the board elected her as a life trustee. She's also the mother of Abby, who Dennis just recently spoke about. And we're so pleased that, Diana, that you could join us tonight, and Abby, that you could be here too. When we elected you to be a life trustee in February, you weren't present with us at the time, but we have a resolution of thanks that I would like to read to you. And when you hear how long it is, you'll know why I'm reading it and wasn't able to commit it to memory. So, resolution of thanks, Diana Davis Spencer, class of 1960, and honorary degree in 2010. Whereas Diana Davis Spencer has inspired us with her immeasurable devotion to Wheaton College as a trustee emerita, with her transformative philanthropy and eagerness to partner in making big dreams a reality, and with her intuitive leadership, which has created unique opportunities for global connection, social innovation, and uplifting entrepreneurship. Whereas she has been a long-serving volunteer in numerous capacities almost since the day she graduated from Wheaton in 1960, including serving as a phone-a-thon caller and a member of the Communications Advisory Board, Reunion Program Committee, Reunion Gift Committee, and Alumni Association Nominating Committee. She has been ever present at events, frequently attending alumni leadership conferences, reunions, mini reunions, donor recognition receptions, as